Treasury Secretary, I mean, you just hit on that point there of how engaged Treasury Secretary Geithner is in this whole process. You've said publicly that when you were in his shoes, when it came to expectations as to the debt ceiling, you would not allow for there to be any kind of question as to whether or not it would have been heightened. How do you rate Geithner and his handling of this issue?
Well, I think each secretary needs to be judged in his own context. I believe that administrations now for the last 30 years have made a mistake in this sense. There is now a set of practices that are employed that are effectively accounting engineering to extend reaching the debt ceiling. So Tim Geithner has said we're going to reach the debt ceiling on May the 18th,
right,
and he hopes that the Congress will act by July.
Right.
Well, how do we get from May to July? By doing financial accounting tricks. I think it helps the Congress to avoid being responsible. I think that's a really bad idea.
It's a poor political judgment.
Absolutely. I wish Tim Geithner would say, when we reach the debt ceiling, we reach the debt ceiling. We're not going to do tricks down here at our end of Pennsylvania Avenue. The Congress needs to be responsible and adult and take action on the debt ceiling. And I think the people who are threatening not to pass the debt ceiling are our version of Al-Qaeda terrorists. They're really putting our whole society at risk by threatening to round up 50% of the members of the Congress who are loony, who would put our credit at risk.
So Boehner not ruling out that any kind of debate over lifting the debt ceiling, wrapping that into the budget debate, is seriously a threat. You think he's dangerous?
I do. Because there's a chance, if you just look at some of the things that people say, well, we'll still have enough money to pay the interest on our debt, is beside the point. This is not about permitting spending in the future. This is permitting us to pay the bills we've already incurred.
But that puts us 2 weeks out, if we go by Geithner's schedule, from hitting that debt ceiling. 2 weeks.
Right.
Can you get Congress to actually do anything in 2 weeks' time?
Well, I don't know. I think we do have a broken political system, and I think it's capable of doing irresponsible things. This whole conversation is irresponsible.